is not factory approved. It's a site where I attempt to show you many different things. Sometimes I teach by example of how not to do things. Sometimes I actually get it right. So hopefully you enjoy what's coming up and you can learn something. Thanks. Here's what I've been doing so far. See, this one, I've been polishing the chrome bits and putting them back on and rubbing down the paint on the body. That's the way it starts, and this is the way they become. Needs more work, still some dents to get rid of, and this one, the plating has become really thin, so I don't know what I can do about that. Some of the copper is showing through, that's why it's kind of greenish. But I got the front on, the front trim there, the crest. I had the hood on, the Flying Lady as they call it, and it cracked. So then trying to fix that, I just made things worse, so not sure where I'm going next. And I cut the rubber trim to fit underneath, polished this piece here, put the rubber underneath it. I gotta straighten it out yet. And then basically straightening out pieces of chrome or stainless and polishing them. So this one here, you can see it's a little bit rough in there, but it was all dinted and pushed in before. So I don't know how much better I can get it. It needs a bit more polishing. And then this piece on the side, done that both sides. I'm going to do the back yet, but I got to make a piece to hold the trim in place because it's screwed on with a piece that the trim snaps over. I got the door latches in, and there, closes. Haven't put the weather strip on. I'll do that last probably. And I'll put the chrome pieces, the trim on the window sills, and got the glove compartment box made, complete with a light. It's hard to open one-handed. There it is. Well, there's a light in there that works, honest. Maybe the battery's dead. Anyway, trimmed it up, made a box out of poster board. Closes up. Polishing the paint all over to do the final polish on the roof. But I've sanded it, got rid of all the dust flecks. And then more pieces in the back and polished, more to polish, and the window cranks and such. And now, pardon the pigsty, the real me comes out. As you can see, this is the parts of an old Grille from the Cadillac, and that's how they start. And good luck finding new pieces. And this is how this one has turned out so far. Not nearly as shiny as it needs to be. And I think the nickel and chrome is pretty much done on this one. There's a green tint to it you can see. I believe because it's copper with nickel over top of that, with chrome over top of that, that the copper is actually corroded because the nickel is porous. So that's where that green is coming through. I polished it by hand initially to get the first bits of rust off, and then I polished it with this buffing wheel, which is a homemade job. Took an old motor from an old washing machine and a V-belt, an arbor with right and left hand threads, and then I purchased some buffing wheels and buffing compound. I've had this NK for quite a while, and I can't really recommend it. I tried using some of the Eastwood buffing compound, and I'm not affiliated with Eastwood, and they don't even give me a discount, but This is good stuff. This really works well. And they have some for stainless steel as well, which is this one right here. They mark it on the side with a black dot. The various options of what it could be, and the black dot means that's what's inside that canister. Here's some of the other pieces of the grill. Obviously I have much work to do. They're still pretty rippled, dented. This car had a major front end accident at one point. The nose of the hood had a big push-in dent, so that means a few other things were dented as well. And these are the dividers here. That's what they look like after they're polished. I still have some hammer marks to get out from straightening them because they were all crooked as anything. And I go from there. See if I can resurrect a grill. Here's the grill installed. Kind of a mediocre effort, but far better than it was. And I will keep my eyes open for another grill. If not, then it's going to be a case of taking it apart, stripping it, and getting it re-chromed. Hood has to be adjusted a little bit on that corner yet, but that's the idea. 5 bars visually with all the uprights. The uprights are stainless steel. We have the crossbars. If we go closer, you can see some of the pits that are there, rougher spots, but it does look far better than it did. So it is usable. It's not going to win any awards, certainly no car shows, but that was never my intention. And I did take some Duplicolor chrome paint and spray it lightly just to pass across as I did the bars. Because of the accident that the car had, there were some pieces that weren't quite straight, even though they looked like they were correct. So it was quite a battle getting it all together. And I don't know if somebody did it before or if it was the way it came from the factory, but they're, as far as I can tell, supposed to be bolts down through here. So I had to make those and get it all to bolt together. And it was definitely, the order I did it in was important. I just couldn't get it together otherwise. There's always something that didn't line up properly. So I started with the center and worked outward on both sides, bit by bit, getting it as straight as I could and then clamping it with the bolts that go through the uprights. I'd like to show some of the tools I've used in straightening out the grill. I certainly would not promote myself as any kind of expert on panel beating, and the grill would attest to that. There's still spots that are certainly not perfect, and were the best I was willing to go. Just sometimes if you go too far, you just cause more damage. And I noticed after I shot the video, the last one, that this on both sides is bent up slightly, so I have yet to straighten that out, so that make these gaps even. But back to the tools. Some of them I have are good and some are cheap, and all have their purpose. I started a mechanics apprenticeship. I went for 3 years, many years ago, and decided I would prefer it more as a hobby. So I went into electronics instead. But at that time I was always taught that a poor workman blames his tools. So I'm always a little hesitant to give tools the blame when it's really the guy wielding them that has a lot to do with it. So this is a pretty decent hammer. It's got a nice face to it, and that is quite handy for beating things flat. It also has a fairly fine point. Sometimes that's good for picking out little dents. Also this I've found very helpful. It's a high magnification lens. I put that on and get right down and peer at the work and take out little tiny dents or bumps. And that's what this hammer is good for as well. It's very good for flattening trim or taking out little dents that are sticking up. That and that. These dollies are quite cheap, but they were also useful. And sometimes using the edges, it can get up inside something like the trim bits, sharp corners. It does have a compound curve to it, so you have to watch that. Sometimes a straight edge is what's needed, which is why I made this piece by beating over the end a bit, slight curve to it, and then filing it down. And that also helped quite a bit in some of the pieces. You could shove it right up into the edge and form against that face. I took out a lot of dents. Also this with a hammer, so I would put it in the vise, whatever end I needed, and work with that, clamp it in with enough room. And this hammer is a very cheap one, but it still has a decent flat face to it. And it has a more rounded tip. And sometimes you don't want something that's as sharp as this one, or as this edge on this one. So it's useful to have something more dull. That's where this one comes in. And this dolly also, another cheap one. And sometimes it would fit into places that nothing else would. I could use that face. And then there was this one. Sometimes you just need a wider surface to work on the parts that are bumping up. And it helps to take those out. Those are some of the tools I used. It's a long, laborious process for me. I'm certainly not an expert at beating panels flat or to have very smooth curves to them. There's still a lot of little dings in the Cadillac that I didn't get out, although it's far better than it was. It's certainly not pristine, but it will be a decent looking car when it's finished. And what more can you ask if you're doing it all yourself? And hopefully this video helps to encourage you. Don't be afraid to try new things.